Every once in a while, I like to go back to my French culinary roots. I'm a French trained chef, but sometimes French food is just too heavy. It's just too much. But today I want to show you how to do a steak au poivre, but instead of that rich, creamy sauce and potatoes or something heavy like that, it's like almost summer. It's warm, especially here in Florida. I'm gonna do a lovely little grapefruit and lemon salad. It's gonna be delicate and wonderful, but still be packed with flavor. Let me show you guys how to make this lovely creation. Every steak au poivre recipe starts with great quality beef. So today I have some beef tenderloin. This is the filet. Now this is what we want. This, as they say, is the magic, but we're not gonna use it just yet. So let's take it off to the side. We have to talk about the au poivre part. Now these are black peppercorns. You can use whatever kind of peppercorns that you like, but this is where we're getting that iconic flavor. So what I'm gonna do is take a plastic bag and we're gonna dump a decent amount of these peppercorns right into our plastic bag. Now this is a very simple recipe. This is the only part where technique is involved. So we don't want giant whole peppercorns. So I'm gonna take a little pot right here and we're just gonna go to town. We're gonna crush it up as much as we can to get a nice, even little pepper crunch for our steak. Essentially what we're looking for is a kind of a medium coarse. You want a heavy piece of pepper. It's gonna give us an amazing flavor. So pound that down until it looks kind of like this. You can always go a little bit more. You could use a grinder, but I feel like this it puts a little bit more of you into your food, and I love that. That looks fantastic. We've got some big pieces, we have some small pieces. That's what we're looking for. Let's scoot over just a little bit. We're gonna make a bed just like that. Now let's talk about our steaks. Now again, these are filet. So we are gonna start by seasoning the first side with just a bit of salt. Let's get some salt down on that first side. Now these are pretty thick, so don't be afraid to add a good amount of seasoning. I feel like a lot of people forget that seasoning brings out moisture. It helps flavor the fat, so do not be afraid. All right, now this side is salt only. This side is going to be salt and that beautiful pepper we just created. I love that coarse fat salt for this. All right, so now both sides are salted. If you want, you can get a little bit on the sides. Throw a little bit of salt down on your plate. I'm just gonna give it a little roll, just to make sure we have good even seasoning on all sides. Show a little love to your food. There we go. All right, now one side only. We're gonna push it down right here into that pepper. All right, let's make a little more room. Now push it down nice and firm. Yeah, we want the pepper to stick. Oh, beauty. And check this out. That is what I'm talking about. You can see the different shapes, the different sizes of pepper. That is glorious. That's what we're looking for. Let's check out this other one too. We'll give it a nice press. Let's see how we did. Oh yeah. Let's reshape it a little bit. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. I've got my Blackstone set to stun, set to high heat. I'm gonna take a little bit of olive oil, actually a decent amount. Let's do a few tablespoons of olive oil. We want a nice bed to get that stunning, gorgeous crust. Now we're gonna start with the unpeppered side, right? So the salt side only. And here we go. This is what we're looking for. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's what we want. We want that beautiful connectivity. We want that full side sear. Essentially what we're looking for is that Maillard reaction, that gorgeous caramelization of protein. We basically want the flavors to start working together so that the steak really truly shines. I mean, adding that pepper, it is a big, bold flavor, but it should complement that natural beefiness in the filet. So we're gonna let this go 3 to 4 minutes on that side. Now, depending on the size of your filet or the size of whatever steak, I don't know if I mentioned that, you could do this with any steak that you like. The amount of time you cook that steak depends on the steak that you've used. It makes sense. All right, let's get to our garnish for our salad. Now I've got some shallot. I am a huge fan of shallot, and if you don't use it, I feel like you're missing out. It's somewhere between garlic and onion. A really fantastic flavor, definitely underused. We're gonna take our knife and slice these nice and thin. I want beautiful little ribbons, as thin as you can. If you had a mandolin, that would be pretty excellent. Essentially, we want the flavor, but we want it to be a delicate addition to our salad. If some of that pepper gets in there, that is all right. That looks like enough. All right, let's push this to the side. We also have some of our lemon. We're gonna cut that in half, and some grapefruit. I love the flavor of grapefruit. It's just such a rich sweetness, and oh, so beautiful. All right, let's grab our lettuce over here. Now these are spring greens. It's basically just a beautiful little mixture of some red leaf, some green leaf, different kinds of lettuces. You can find it in your grocery store, but I'm also gonna add some of this. This is, how can I describe this green? You know, we've talked about umami in the past. Umami is one of those flavor profiles that we don't really think of as its own separate thing, but it's absolutely true. Watercress has a very peppery umami flavor. Think of it like when you've, CJ's here, when you've eaten ramen noodles in the past, that MSG, that monosodium glutamate flavor that coats your entire palate. It's really pleasant and wonderful, but we're not doing it with a ramen noodle packet, we're doing it with some of these beautiful greens. We're gonna add these to our mix as well. Not a lot because they are powerful. It's kind of like arugula. Now let's give that just a little toss, mix everything together. Oh, let's add our beautiful little shaved shallots as well. It's just kind of giving our salad a boost, a lift. If some of that pepper gets involved, actually, you know what, Ethan, check this out. We have some of this pepper down here that's really fine. We don't want the big pieces for our salad, but some of this fine stuff right here, that's what we're after. Let's grab a little bit of that and go right over our greens. Let's add a little bit more. And we're kind of going pepper overload on this dish, but that's okay. Let's hit it with just a bit of salt as well, and a touch of olive oil. The olive oil is gonna give us a nice sheen, a little shine, and it's gonna help evenly distribute all of our other flavors. So we can go with some of our lemon juice. Oh, beautiful. We're really getting into like aromatic flavor town right now. Let's do the juice of a whole lemon. We really want that bright punch. Now earlier I talked about traditionally Au Poivre is served with more of a cream sauce, more French style. I'm gonna do half of this grapefruit. But we're not serving our Au Poivre all savory and French style. We're going a little more, we're going Florida. I'm taking it Florida, ladies and gentlemen. A little bright, fresh, sweet action. That looks good. All right, now let's get in there and give it a nice little toss. Get all the oil and the juice. Lovely. See how shiny it gets? Look at that. Just so stunning. Stunning and beautiful. Look at that. Oh yeah. All right, let's go give a gander. Let's take a look at our steaks. See how those are doing. I'm gonna grab some unsalted butter. Key that it's unsalted. Add that right to our griddle and let that melt around. And when we give our steak a flip, you'll see that gorgeous crispy pepper. That's where it's at. If you lose some, that's okay. All of that flavor has definitely penetrated your steak. This only needs a minute or so in that bubbly, gorgeous fat. And we can go ahead and bring it over to our cutting board and we can let this rest for just a bit. Look at that. Whew. Look at that, my friends. I feel like I need a Todd Toven moment. Take a look at that. If you want, you can take that bottom side, just a touch more pepper. So again, that's the bottom side, right? Just a little bit of pepper on that bottom side. I am a huge fan of that pepper flavor, so that's what I want. Now we need to let these rest. This is the hardest part of steak cookery, letting it rest. If you don't, you're not gonna get that beautiful, even cook. We have to let it rest so those muscles that are all tightened up from all that heat that we just put it through. We just literally put it through the fire fast and furious and everything is all bundled up in there. We need a chance to let it relax, let some of those juices take it easy, just take a chill pill. So let this rest for 4 or 5 minutes and it's time to plate. We've done it. We've done the impossible. We've waited. Now it's time to plate. We can go ahead and slide these over. Don't be afraid of all that pepper on your cutting board. And that's the magic that we've been creating anyway. Let's go ahead and grab our salad. Be sure to get a good mix of all of those beautiful ingredients. Let some of that excess liquid drain off. And right here on the side, look how beautiful. Let's give it a little bit of height here. Oh, stunning. This is a really nice departure from just really super heavy cream sauces. It's essentially a light dinner, perhaps a light lunch, if you will, but this is magnificent. I think it's time we take a bite. Let's do this. Let's go right in the center here, right in our steak. Oh, you hear that crunch at that top? Wow, wow. Now something happens too with steak. As you cut it open, the oxygen starts to react with the protein and it does start to bloom out. So what it looks like right when you cut it doesn't mean it's to be the exact same way it looks. You ever notice when you cut a steak and it looks a lot more red 5 or 10 minutes from now? That's the oxygen interacting with the blood in the beef, giving us that blooming characteristic. Now, if you wanted to cook these to rare, go a little bit less. If you want them cooked all the way to well done, go a little bit more, but I mean, that's as easy as it gets. Let's take a bite. Oh, so good. That, my friends, is what I am talking about. Pepper is huge, huge flavor. So good. A ton of savory. You get that sweet, slightly acidic salad. It's harmony. Flavors coming together. Saying, hey, how you doing? I'm doing great. Let's be friends. Whoa. This is a really fun one. Again, you can take this a little more rare if you like it that way. I feel like a big rare steak for lunch. It's not gonna sit well for the rest of the day. So take it to whatever desired doneness that you like. This is a fun one. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell icon, that way you get an email notification every time we post a video. Check out CJ's show, check out Betty's show, and Todd's show, but this is Cook, Eat, Repeat, where we help you become a better cook one recipe at a time. I'm your host, Chef Nathan Lippy, and I will see you guys in the next video.